Hello and welcome. Carrie here from Healing Humanity, the power of a proper human diet with my friends, the Carnivore brothers, Ashley and Rhett. How's it going, guys?
Doing
Hey,
great. Thanks for having us,
doing
Carrie.
great.
You two are awesome, by the way. I just want to say I really appreciate all of your support. These guys came out to our Chicago meetup, which was our first meetup ever. And it was just so cool. Well, first of all, it's so cool meeting other carnivores, but meeting you two, and I mean, I think you guys traveled the furthest. I really appreciate it. I appreciate all your support. You guys are always rocking the Compassion Carnivore shirts. I don't even have it on today. I've at the movie theater though. So I really appreciate you guys. I've been looking forward to hearing your full story. I know we've talked a couple times here and there, but wanted to hear your full story and share it with everyone here on the channel. So before we jump into that, I just want to say, if you guys haven't subscribed to the Carnivore Brothers yet, go do that. I have a link in the description below. You guys got a really cool channel. Rhett, I just watched your video earlier today, making up some,
Oh, nice.
I think it was today, your
Yeah.
most recent video with the bacon. And I was like, that was really cool. Like, I have made so much bacon and it's always a pain in the butt. Like, and you had some really good tips on there that I hadn't tried before.
Nice. Appreciate that.
Yeah,
I haven't had any.
Yeah, we were in Florida. He cooked bacon for everybody, the whole family, every morning using that method. So turned out
Nice.
great.
That's awesome. Yeah. So let me see here real quick. Carnivore Brothers. Yep. So yeah, I have the link in the description for Ashley and Rhett's channel, Carnivore Brothers. You guys also sent me one of the coolest. I know I talk about it a lot, but you sent me one of the coolest little short clips when we did the 24-hour live stream. And you also talked about your dad and the Boy Scout uniform. And
Yeah.
it was cool. I was like, everyone loves that clip. I should have had it ready right here to show again. It was a really cool clip. So anyhow, we can talk about that and everything else. But yeah, maybe I don't know. I don't think I've ever interviewed two carnivores at once. Who wants to go first? I guess my first question is normally, well, I guess maybe one question for both of you is, who started Carnivore Diet first between the two of you?
Wait, let's see here.
I was getting like the finger pointer, right? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I did. So I started it first, and it was really just a couple of months before Rhett, maybe not even a full month before Rhett, but I had started already eliminating a lot of the carbs and sugars just based on some other stuff kind of in November as I was researching the carnivore diet, and I was learning and watching the Ken Berry videos and doing all the research right on for through November, December, and into January. And then it was February that I really was like, all right, I think I'm ready to do this. And then that was when your 30-day video came out, and I'm like, I'm in full bore. I'm in. And Rhett was already noticing some changes, and it didn't take long. He messaged me on Facebook saying, "What are you doing?" And that's how he started pretty quickly after that. And I think his results have been even better in a lot of ways when it comes to weight loss and some of the things. But yeah, so I started. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, so are you coming up on a year?
Yeah, so I'm coming up on a year from Carnivore, and I've done really well through the whole year. Pretty much. I've not really had any big mix-ups. We did go on a cruise together in the summer, so we had your cruising experience, and you were definitely a lot more strict than we were. We did probably dabble a little bit more and cheat a little bit more, but that's the only time I can really even remember cheating, and it wasn't a whole lot. We still stuck to mostly meat and carnivore way of eating almost through the whole cruise. But we had some desserts and a couple of things that we that was our one cheat, I think, that we had a couple of times. But outside of that, for pretty strict for a whole year. Done really well.
And what Ashley was your sort of your why for starting Carnivore?
Yeah, so my big why was type 2 diabetes, and what I go back 8 years. I actually had to go get my lab work because I'm putting together a video to kind of show some of the lab results that I've gotten, because I think that'll be a good story to tell. But it started 8 years ago when I didn't have any idea what type 2 diabetes was. And I got my very first blood results. Well, I was feeling terrible. I had gained more weight than I'd ever gained. And then all of a sudden I started losing weight, and I was still eating like crap. I wasn't exercising. I really thought I had cancer or something. I was like, why am I losing weight for no reason? And I lost like 50 pounds. It was pretty serious. So this uncontrollable weight loss, and I didn't have any idea why. Well, finally stepped up to the doctor. I just turned 40, went to the doctor, got my blood work, and my A1C, which I had no idea what that was at the time, was 11.1, which is huge, really, really high. And So I started learning what that was. My cholesterol numbers were even higher. I didn't even remember that. My wife reminded me actually about a month ago. She was like, but remember your cholesterol levels were crazy too. And I said, no, I don't even remember that. So I went back to go get my blood work numbers just to see it. And for those who don't know where that normal range is between 0 and 150 on your triglycerides, mine was 1,305.
Whoa.
Nut. Now, I have to put an asterisk beside that because I really don't remember if I had like fasted before I went in and did that blood work. I really don't remember. It was 8 years ago. And so it could have been thrown off with that, but it was insanely high. They couldn't even measure my total cholesterol. So
wow.
Crazy thing. But after 9 months on carnivore, get this. So after 9 months on carnivore, this is where the huzzahs come in, because if you watch Kim Berry, you know the huzzah, but A1C went from 11.1. That was the worst. But even before I started carnivore, I did some blood work to get a metric, and it was 9.6. All right. But after carnivore, 9 months carnivore, 5.3. So
wow.
not even type 2 diabetic anymore. Yeah.
Yeah.
That
That's
was
incredible.
Awesome. Check this out. My triglycerides went from that 1305. They were still super high before I started carnivore. They were 82. So people ask me, like, have you had any blood work since you've been on carnivore? I'm like, as a matter of fact, I have, and everything's better than it's ever been. It's amazing. And then I got to tell you this too, because it was hilarious. But the doctor that I went to, my iron levels were really high. Ferritin. I didn't know what that was either. And he was telling me about it. And he said his advice was cut out the red meat and quit cooking in a cast iron skillet. So unfortunately on the carnivore diet, that's pretty much all I did. I quadrupled the amount of red meat that I was eating. That's all I ate. Cooking in a cast iron all the time. But what crazy part is my ferritin levels went from 1,016. It's supposed to be, if you don't know that, the range is between 30 and 400. My ferritin levels when I started the carnivore diet was 1,016. So it was really high. And then I also donated some blood sometimes too. That also helped. But my ferritin level after 9 months of carnivore, eating only red meat and cooking a lot in a cast iron skillet and doing everything kind of against what the doctor had said, the advice, it was 267. Absolutely perfect, right in the middle of that range where it's supposed to be. So
wow.
Go figure, right? But it's just crazy. I was super excited to see those results after I got my blood work. And that was in November. That was the 9 month mark.
That's incredible.
So, yeah, it's been an awesome turnaround.
It's kind of a sad thing, and I say it kind of jokingly, but I don't. It's like if I would have just done the opposite, like the doctor told you don't eat meat. If I would have just done the opposite in so many cases of what they told me, I'd have been so much better off. It's really insane.
More leafy greens, and less red meat. That was his advice.
That's crazy with your with the diabetes and your A1C going down that much too. I have a lot of family members that are diabetic. I have a cousin that he's lost a good chunk of his foot, gone, and he's ready to lose more of his foot because he's continuing down that path. I never knew about type 2 diabetes till I started carnivore. I always thought you get that, that's it, you're done for. But no, it's like it's easily reversible if you just eat the proper foods you're supposed to be eating.
Yeah, and you're spot on. What you thought before, that's what most people think. When you get type 2 diabetes, here's your meds. You take those for a little while. When they don't work as well anymore because your body adapts to it, they up the dosage. And it doesn't work anymore, they up the doses. And eventually your dosage gets so high and your body starts not functioning, then you go on dialysis. And you do some of these, it just progressively gets worse and worse and worse and worse, and you die. And that's type 2 diabetes. If you have success in the medical field of treatment, you just extend the life. And it's crazy when the reality is you can reverse it by changing your diet. You can completely reverse it. And I mean, I've seen some higher A1Cs, but 11.1 is right up there at the top. And what's crazy about it is I reversed it in 3 months the very first time I did this. And that was 8 years ago. And we did a paleo diet. And so I didn't know as much about it then, but I was doing a paleo diet, which is very similar, cutting out carbs and sugars. And in 3 months was able to bring those numbers back down, which is just, my doctor, when he got that next set of blood work, his eyes were big and wide. He's like, "What are you doing?" So
That's amazing.
I didn't exercise and I didn't take your medicine.
Right. Now, think about this, Ashley. So many people are considering carnivore, they're thinking about it, but they're absolutely terrified to start. Imagine if you hadn't started carnivore. This has almost been a year now. Imagine if a year later with those numbers you had, your A1C at 11.1, like where do you think you'd be right now a year later if you continue doing whatever you were doing before?
Yeah, I would exactly. I would have had to do something. So it had gone. I the very first time 8 years ago when I changed my diet. I tell this story all the time. I changed my diet in 3 months. It made a huge difference in my numbers when I went and got my blood work. Well, cocky me, I was like, all right, cool. I can handle this. I can do this. I went and celebrated with ice cream and a pizza. And so that's the difference in my mindset now is this lifestyle change has been, I mean, it's the rest of my life. I'm sold out. This is my new lifestyle, the carnivore way. Before it was like, all right, well, I'll cheat here and I'll cheat there and I'll cheat here. And pretty soon I was just back into the same old habits, right? You know, the sugar addiction is real. And so, I hadn't kicked it. I didn't know how, and I never eliminated all of that previously. So this has been a totally different, and now I feel completely different than I ever have before. I feel so much better.
Have you noticed any other changes, like mentally speaking?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No, that's probably the biggest. The second side of I don't notice a lot of the changes. Just that's in the blood work with the type 2 diabetes, but the energy, I tell people all the time, I feel 20 years younger. I have this crazy amount of energy. I go. I don't get tired anymore, and it's that difference when you're walking down the street and somebody said, "Hey, how you doing?" I'm great. I'm fantastic. I'm always seem like I'm riding this high. And it's just been amazing. Yeah, and there's been countless other things that are just funny things that we're noticing. The other day I went and worked out for the hard, like I haven't worked out that hard in a long time. I didn't know what I was getting into. A buddy who introduced me to carnivore had me come out 5:30 in the morning, and we did a workout. I ended up doing over 100 burpees. I hadn't done a burpee for 30 years probably. And so I thought the next couple of days I was just going to be like barely rolling. I bet I barely got sore. After doing that 0 to 103 burpees, I was like, this is crazy. I was a little sore, but nothing compared to the way I would have been because all that inflammation's out of my body now. So
Isn't that incredible? It's
Yeah.
just nuts with the not getting sore. We re-roofed the movie theater roof here like 14 hours straight. I'm like, I'm gonna be dead tomorrow. And it was like nothing. It's really funny. Just quick shout out. I'm doing a video tomorrow morning with Dr. Chafee, and it's called 10 Carnivore Superpowers, and that's one of them. It's like you don't get these aches and pains and ailments, and then the other one too is you seem to have a lot of people report the energy, the stamina. It's like you don't get tired like I used to before. You say all these things, and then people that aren't carnivores are like, yeah, these guys are over exaggerating, but everyone's a carnivore says these same things over and over again.
If you like to get in trouble with it, you don't.
If people can make it past, sorry, I was going to say, if people can make it past 30 days, generally they're going to keep going. But getting through that first 30 days is tough.
Right. Yeah. So, Rhett, what about your experience? So, you started after. Who's the older brother too, by the way?
Ashley's older. He actually has a twin brother that has started carnivore a little bit too, and he's been helping us with some of the video editing and whatnot. So yeah, it's cool to see him.
May have 3 carnivore brothers soon.
Really? Wow, that's awesome. So you're a twin, Ashley.
Yeah, so I'm a twin, and then Rhett's the younger brother. He's 3 years younger.
That's really cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So so Rhett, you started after Ashley. What was your why, your reason for starting?
Well, my why was definitely the sleep apnea was like kind of, am I overweight? I was about 310 pounds at my heaviest, about 215 now. And it was what came along with it. So my why was the sleep apnea, that silly CPAP machine. Thankfully I'm finally sleeping well. No, I wasn't. It was about 4 hours in the middle of the night, and I'm throwing the thing off my head angrily. Well, at least I slept a little bit, but it was terrible. And I got fed up with that thing so fast that when I saw Ashley on Facebook, I saw a picture and asked him what he's doing. And he kind of explained things, and he introduced me to you, and I started watching you right away. And Carrie, I have you to thank for, kind of that daily motivation and getting me going, because without your videos and your passion and your fire, I don't know that I would have been able to keep going. But I had that that content that you put out, that you're just on fire. And I love it because that helped build a fire in me. And anyway, I've just always wanted to say, thank you to you. And it brings such pleasure to me to be able to do this live to you.
I really appreciate that. Thank you. I get that comment from time to time from people. And it's like, I guess I'm motivated. I'm just doing it because I'm so fired up and excited about it. But when I get that comment, I'm like, okay, good. This is actually helping people. It's like a win-win. I can get this stuff off my chest. It's helping some other people. So, but on your CPAP thing, I just want to say real quick, 100%, Rhett. Oh my God. The same thing you just said was me. I would rip that. I said this in a live stream before, but I'm like, did you guys ever see the movie Office Space?
Oh yeah.
You know when he takes the fax machine out and just beats the crap out of it with a baseball bat? That's what I want to do with my CPAP.
Letter.
Yes, exactly. I had the facial hair and I didn't want to shave, so the mask I just had to like ratchet strap down onto my face so hard.
Yeah.
Sorry. So that was one of your big whys, the CPAP machine. What else?
That was the big why that kind of got me going, and of course the weight. But then the biggest benefit that I have come to find through this has been the depression and anxiety that's just kind of disappeared. I've been in these situations recently where, I would have normally been set off, shut down, and off to the car while my family went and did their thing because I couldn't handle it anymore. Right. And just on our last family trip to Florida, my wife pulled Ashley aside and he said, I can't believe what's happening. Rhett is here. He's handled this whole day. He hasn't complained. It's been an amazing day. He's on fire still, and he still has energy. What is going on? This is amazing. Right. And to hear that from my wife, and through my brother's mouth, but if, my wife talked to him about that, it just melted my heart. I started bawling. Like because you don't think about it every day. Right. And then you look back and you see through other people's eyes who have been watching you, and they see that difference and go, this man has changed. He's different. He's, and it has just absolutely floored me and my family members. Really, most of them have commented on you're pretty different in a good way, I hope.
Amen.
That's amazing. That's the whole reason I'm doing the Healing Humanity documentary. Because I know I've talked about it before, but my depression, anxiety. So I totally feel for you, Rhett. I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy when I hear people say that too, because a lot of people that haven't been through that, they're just like, yeah, just go for a walk. It's not that big of a deal, but completely life changing. Like you have your whole life back now. And the thing is, like before, this Rhett right now, I believe this is the proper Rhett that you're intended to be. It's not that you changed or improved. This is just the flat line, the baseline. It's just like, speaking for myself, before this, I was depressed and anxious all the time. And I was in a complete brain fog and fatigue just because I was putting all the wrong things in my body and it was slowing me down. And I was looking through life through a completely different lens because of that. But man, that is awesome.
Yes. Yeah, and I got to back up Rhett on this too, because it's been remarkable to see him, and like what you just said, the baseline is different. I went through and I'm sure Rhett has over his life too. The weight loss is up and down, because a lot of people tell me, oh, of course you're feeling better. You lost a lot of weight. No, it's different. It's not. I've been there. I've lost the weight and I gained it back, and I lost the weight and I gained it back. I've done those where I'm at a better weight. And I don't feel the same way. This is different. This is completely different. And, I feel the energy and the excitement, and every day, the like you said, say all the time, the brain fog is gone. My mental sharpness, like at work, I feel bad sometimes. I feel like people are not keeping up with me. I kind of want to say, like, come on with it. Come on, spit it out. Like it's funny. I don't want to be rude, but it's one of those where my mental sharpness is I just feel like it's at another level.
Exactly the same. I got to catch myself sometimes. I'm like, man, I'm just being like an egotistical jerk or something, but it's like,
yeah.
And then you see stuff in the world too. Now, I don't know if you guys are seeing this, but it's like, you guys don't get this. Like I did a video yesterday. It's not live yet, but an article came up on my news feed. And it was like, people are getting cancer younger and younger. Doctors are puzzled. I'm like, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a scientist. I didn't even go to college, and I'm not puzzled on this one. It's like common sense stuff. And you see it in public too, with people just everyday behavior. Like, you sure you want to do that? Like, why are you? People are like fuddling around with things. It's like, yeah, it's crazy. So much clearer now in the cognitive ability, everything.
I'm so happy with what you've done with the cancer and brought that to light too. And some of that, I have to say, I was really kind of floored this morning. It was really hard for me to keep my mouth shut. I went to a Bible study with my dad this morning, and the Boy Scout jersey, wasn't wearing it this morning, but I went there with my dad. He's doing great. And his energy's at a whole nother level too. But I just felt like I was sitting in this room with a lot of wisdom. There's 22 other guys there. He lives in a kind of a retirement community. They're all 55 and older, and invited me to come to this Bible study. Well, we started going around the room, of course, at the beginning of it, getting some prayer requests. And it was just, it was tragic. It was cancer, treatment, tumors, cancer. It was just, everybody there knew somebody or had somebody who's going through this, stage 4 cancer, whatever else. And it was so hard for me to keep my mouth shut, knowing all the stuff. And I really I'm that passionate about it. I don't know if I should have kept my mouth shut, but I did, because that was my first time there. And I don't know if that was the right place, obviously. And they're going through a lot when they're dealing with their spouse in a very difficult situation. But it's just like you keep saying, at least if the information was there and made available to them as an option. I just wish that was out there. They were talking about some of the pills that they were taking $33,000 a month to buy the medicine. And it's like, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, I did a couple of videos now with Professor Seafried, and that is the most heartbreaking comment that I get over and over again. People are like, thank you for doing this. Thank you for Professor Seafried for putting this information out there. But unfortunately, it's too late for my loved one or my wife. And what they always say is, I just wish they would have had this as an option. That's it. Just as an option. They could have done maybe they wouldn't have used it, but yeah, hopefully we can continue to get the word out. That the whole cancer thing wasn't even going to be in the Healing Humanity documentary until I met Jeff and started learning more about it, and learning that a lot of cancers are caused from chronic inflammation, most likely and probably from eating horrible, highly inflammatory food for decades and decades. You end up with cancer, Alzheimer's, heart disease, all of these things. That's another one too, where it's just like, never knew that before. Now it's so crystal clear. Yeah. It's it's amazing everything that's happened for both of you. But then, do you ever think about the future now too? Because the more I'm learning about this stuff, it's like, I'm kind of more fearless now, maybe because of the carnivore. I don't have anxiety or whatever, but I'm not worried about like aging or getting dementia or Alzheimer's or cancer. Sure, it could happen. If it happens, I'm going to deal with it. But I really feel like the odds of that happening are so much less the way I'm eating now, based on everything I've learned.
Yes. Yep. And I remember who was on one of your channels the other day and said it, and they're like, even if I do, I know how I can better deal with it.
Right.
But I'm the same way. I don't feel invincible, but I do feel a lot more invincible than I used to. That's for sure. I feel like my body's operating at an optimal level.
Right. Yeah. You mentioned earlier, Ashley, how you've done other diets and stuff like that, but you've never felt like this. 100%. The same thing for me. That's what, because people have said to me, well, you would have done the same thing if you ate vegetables. You would have done the same thing, this or that. I had success on keto on and off, but even when I was doing keto, I'm like, I'm eating these weird keto snacks and treats, and then I keep having these cheat days, and then my sugar's going up and down, and I can't. It always felt weird. Carnivore feels like, no, I don't even have to think about it. This is just natural. I'm just eating, and that's it. It's nothing to think about. So it's like, you don't even have to worry about it, sort of thing.
I did a video the other day because it just hit me at a moment. I just finished eating a ribeye, and I was like, man, I've eaten ribeyes for now almost a year, and it's so good. I was like so excited about it. I was like, I was really debating licking the plate. I included that in there. I'm like, I may just lick the rest of this off there, because that's how good it was.
We wouldn't have judged you.
It doesn't bore me at all. It's just fantastic.
I foolishly asked Dr. Chafee that in a video we did together. Actually, someone asked it and I repeated it. I was like, do you ever get sick of steak? And he actually swore. I was like, okay, I get it. Yeah, I've done the lick the plate before too. I don't remember if I put that on video. The other one is I just pretty much only eat at home now, but every now and then we'll go out to eat and get a steak and get a T-bone or something. At the end, I'm just gnawing the meat right off the bone. I don't care anymore. It's so good too. It's like I was saying this to Jen the other day. I was like, it's almost like this primal thing, like when you're looking at a campfire or up at the stars, just eat some meat right off the bone or something. I don't know. Yeah, exactly. Awesome. So you guys are doing amazing. And I think I know the answer, but I want to ask anyways. You're so passionate and fired up about this that you decided to create your own YouTube channel, Carnivore Brothers. Like, why was that important to you?
No, I'll be real honest, and you inspired the YouTube channel because it was your message that before the 24-hour live stream that basically was saying we need to get more stories out like this. And I mean, Rhett probably remembers that I just called him out of the blue one night. I said, hey, I just signed us up. I'm typing it in right now. We're going to be the Carnivore Brothers. We're doing a YouTube channel. Like we didn't know what we were doing. We still don't know what we're doing, you know, but it was that documented story that we just wanted to help put it out there, put the word out there. And then I'll be honest, I was excited about your 24-hour live stream. I'm like, man, we got to get a video out on there and get a couple out there so we can get on Carrie's channel, because that would be amazing to be part of the 24-hour live stream. I think we just both saw such dramatic results, and then I included that in that original video on the 24-hour live stream. That ripple effect is like, you know, Rhett saw me and my parents saw both of my mom first said when I told her about it, she's like, you're crazy. You're going to kill yourself. Like the same old routine, right? She was like, no, you can't just do that. What about your veggies? And she gave me the whole lecture about it. And now looking at her being carnivore for several months and her just thriving and doing great. But it was that she saw our results. We didn't have to say anything. They just saw the results. They saw the differences, and they're like, all right, we're going to give this a shot too. Mom and dad are doing great. We've got a cousin who's doing it. It's just it just continues on. My twin brother who started just because he was, I would say I don't want to go into too much of his story without his permission yet, but he was kind of almost in that hopeless stage too. Like he's been hurting, and having struggles for a long time with his, gut and other things that he's dealt with. And so he was just like, he kind of blew me and Rhett away. At one point, he was just texting, all right, how do I start the carnivore diet? I'm going to do it. And really kind of shocked us both. But, he's been doing well with that. And he's only been, I think he's about 45 days now.
Mm-hmm.
But we're excited about seeing how he's doing.
Right.
And he's an incredible video editor. So maybe our videos will get better if he helps us.
Nice. Well, hey, it's like you said, it's all about the documented stories, just putting your example out there. People are going to resonate with the fact that you overcame type 2 diabetes. People are going to resonate with Rhett and sleep apnea. I love what you said too. I'm so glad you guys submitted that video for the 24-hour live stream, because it was so cool with your dad and the Boy Scout thing.
Yeah.
But the ripple thing, you just reminded me of that. I'm sorry, but I kind of stole that from you. I've been saying that all the time since then. It's so true. It's so true. I really think carnivore is just spreading like wildfire because of that ripple effect. And then it's like, well, why isn't Weight Watchers spreading like that? Because this works. It's like, it's so crazy. Like my mom and stepdad are doing it. My younger sister, my older sister, Emma's doing it. My other daughter did a little bit, jumping in and off, but that's just 5 right there that I know personally. And now like my mom, she's got her own peers that they see her like thriving, and now they're asking her, what are you doing? And now it's going to just spread off from there and ripple away. It's kind of amazing.
And you've talked about your daughters being on and off and whatever else, and my daughter's kind of the same way. And I think Rhett's boys have dabbled a little bit in it too, but they're still at that age where their body's thriving. They're young. They're not seeing the real effects. As you get older and your body starts, I was 40 and my body was just starting to implode based on everything I've been doing for years.
Right.
And that's when I finally had to go, okay, something's wrong and I got to get it fixed. It's amazing to me how much of the older generation is loving this. You said a couple of times, you're like, how, if you're 75 years old, why would you change your diet so drastically at that point? But it's because they're in that desperation. They're feeling so terrible. Then this is working. It's giving a new hope. It's giving a new life, and they're seeing the difference it's making. And so I'm loving the fact my dad won't shut up. Like he just keeps talking to everybody about it. It's so funny. My mom has to punch him under the table. Jay, don't, not yet. No, don't say that.
That's awesome.
Slow it down a little bit, but he's great. He gets passionate about it.
When's the Carnivore Father YouTube channel coming out?
Right. That was actually our first interview. I don't know if you ever saw it, but you should go back and watch it. It was pretty good. We interviewed Mom and Dad as our very first interview on our channel, and it was.
He could be the carnivore preacher.
Right.
Yeah. he's been a preacher, missionary his entire life. So I mean, that's
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. On the children thing, the thing that I'm thankful for, Emma's pretty strict carnivore. my other daughters, they've all tried it. My older daughter Lily's on and off, and she'll do so good, and then she'll falter a little bit. The thing that I'm happy about though is that they've all tried it and they all know the power of it. So it's like if they ever get to a point where they're completely hopeless with depression, anxiety, or whatever it may be, they have this tool in their toolbox. But I'm still confident because like right before we went on the cruise, almost all of them were on it. It was so close, and then they're like, "Well, we're going on this cruise. We're just gonna have fun," and then it kind of fell apart from there. But just gotta be patient with it. But yeah, so wow, we got some good questions here.
You got good stuff, and looks like some new members too, which is awesome.
Yeah, wow. Oh, thank you guys so much for joining as members. I'm just gonna go through this here real quick. And if you have more, I've got some questions already for Rhett and Ashley. Post them with the QQQ. Diane Phillips, new member. Just real quick, I just got to give the little speech. Every penny we get from memberships goes to the Healing Humanity documentary. I don't get a penny from any of that. If you buy the shirts, super chats, all of that goes right towards the documentary. So thank you so much. We do a members only live stream. I'm doing it every Thursday at 3:00. And there's a new feature I just saw that came out on YouTube where we can actually release videos early to members. Members can watch it and then schedule it. I don't know if that just came out. I just saw that yesterday. I was like, oh, that's cool. So I'm probably going to be doing that going forward. So if you're a member, you'll probably get to watch the videos like 24 hours before everyone else or something like that as well. So thank you, Diane. H4K, cool. Carnivore Chronicles, Jen Ellison. Thank you, Jen. Appreciate it. Missy G72, Kel. Wow, there's a whole bunch on here. This is crazy. Thank you guys so much.
Love it.
Trond, Laura, Always Be Yourself, Denise, Fred, Josephine, The Brick House, Jesse Parsons, Gail Wolf, and Scooby the Dog. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much. That's more members I think I've ever seen at one time. That's crazy.
We were on one of your lives at one point, and I didn't even know you could become a member, and so I think that's like some people don't even realize they can do that, and we did that early on, and it's a great way to help support the Healing Humanity because it's it's a monthly thing that it's not too much. One Starbucks coffee that you don't drink or something, and you can become a member, and it's just it's constantly going towards the team there working on the Healing Humanity documentary, which I love, and I can't wait. We were so excited about that.
Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, the memberships really help. It's nice to have that sort of ongoing. Plus it's just fun to have like members only meetings. And when we went to film Jeff DeProsperous, I did a members only video, and I did like there's a community tab where we can put pictures and behind the scenes film in the documentary. So I'm trying to do more and more of that going forward for sure. So it's kind of a fun thing.
The Thursday one's one of my favorite ones, but I'm always working, so it's kind of hard, but I always put it on in the back, and I'm trying to interact and chat on it when we can. But I love that one.
Right. It was so awesome. I mentioned this earlier, having you guys out to the meetup. That was the first one I've ever been to. Have you guys been to anything else like that?
Yeah, I got to go to Austin and meet Carnivore Soldier. And you just did an interview with him. He actually did the meetup the day before that, and so me and my dad went out there, and that was fun. We met at Rudy's Barbecue, and there's about 20 people out there, but met some great new carnivores, and several of them. Again, his message was great, but he's just like, you've got to get out there. Even if you don't have your own channel, you can still support the message that's going out there. So jump on these channels, subscribe. Watch the videos. Even if you don't have time to watch an hour-long video right now, put it on in the background and do it. Help the YouTube algorithms get the carnivore message out there. And I thought that was so good. But he's doing such a good work with veterans and first responders. I love his message he's got, and so that was fun. They're about 3 hours away, so we drove out to that one too. So wasn't quite as far as Chicago, but it was still a very fun afternoon. I'm glad my dad got to go with me too. Rhett couldn't make that one, unfortunately. Next one.
That's really cool. Yeah, shout out Carnivore Soldier Larry. Awesome channel. Love what he's doing. I'm going to keep shouting from the rooftops and trying to promote what he's doing because it's amazing. Yeah, one other announcement I want to make real quick too is at the end of the month, January 30th, speaking of with Rhett earlier about depression, anxiety stuff, I'm doing a mental health live stream with, I'm so thankful, grateful, and blessed, Dr. Georgia Eid. Her book is coming out on the 30th. Just an incredible, like I keep meeting these carnivores. I'm like, I'm so blessed. I'm so thankful. The work she's doing, the book that she wrote, like Rhett, like with the depression, anxiety stuff. I read that book and Carnivores Don't Cry. I was bawling. I started crying because I'm like, if this is what I was searching for most of my adult life, the answers were in here. If I would have had that book 20 years ago, 10 years ago, I would have been like, this is it. And she explains everything. It's just perfect. Like, I keep like promoting this book, and people are like, do you get anything? No, I'm not an Amazon affiliate. I get nothing from promoting this book. I'm buying a whole bunch of the books and giving them out to people. That's how powerful I think the book is. It shares the same mission I'm trying to do with the Healing Humanity documentaries, get the word out. There's so many hopeless people out there in the world right now. Just some incredible stories. And so earlier I did that depression live stream, and we had an individual with bipolar disorder, depression, anxiety, PTSD, and all these people just reversing it on keto and carnivore. So anyways, long story short, on the 30th, we're doing a big, not a 24-hour live stream again. Ashley, you mentioned that one. I'm still having, yeah, I don't want to do another one of those for a while, but it's going to be a couple hours long. We're going to do a roundtable, Dr. Chafee, Dr. Georgia Eid, and Dr. Tony Hampton, who's also just wonderful. And then we're having a bunch of individuals come on to share their story, overcoming depression, mental health, on the proper human diet. So that's on the 30th. Looking forward to that.
Yes.
I added Georgia's book to my wish list earlier this week when you had her on. I'm excited for that. The Change Your Diet, Change Your Mind.
Yeah. Yeah. I stand behind it fully. I'm like, everyone should read that, but it's so good too, because, you guys know this, you talk about carnivore, or you even talk about keto with people. You talk to keto. It's crazy to me that people think keto's, oh, it's dangerous. That's crazy. That's nuts. All of the arguments and against keto or carnivore, things like that, she just lays it out so perfectly in the book with science and facts. Like the whole part of the end of it is just all sourced. It's so good. I'm sorry, I could talk about that thing forever. It's just amazing.
It's great.
It's gonna help a lot of hopeless people. So I'm gonna keep promoting it and talking about it and do some book reviews or whatever I got to do. I was so fortunate. She sent me an advanced copy. It was huge. I'm like, I'm not gonna have time. I read I couldn't stop reading it. It was so good. So anyhow, we got some questions from the audience. What is your favorite meal? Well, they said Carrie, but this is actually Jen. I think she's asking all of us. My favorite meal is a reverse seared ribeye steak. What about you guys?
I'll let Rhett go first.
Yeah, typically a reverse seared ribeye as well. Reverse seared meat at this point, man. I like anything is like coming out like, why haven't I had this before? And I will never go to a restaurant again because I just cook everything better.
Yes.
You become an expert at it. My all-time favorite is the prime rib. I'm a big prime rib fan, and oh man, I had some good ones over the holidays, but it's the ribeye. I mean, I eat ribeye all day. It's the same meat. It's just a different way of cooking it, but I love my prime rib.
It's interesting you say that. Being a carnivore, I should know all of this stuff. I love prime rib too. I didn't realize, because I would buy the big prime rib roast. I'd cut it up for ribeye, and then like I said, for Christmas, I'm gonna do prime rib. I'm like, it's the same thing. How do I not know this? But yeah, I did one for Christmas. Yep, I slow smoked it. Oh, it was incredible. That's pretty close to one of my favorites. I actually got to do some more like that. But
yes.
Hey, everyone in the comments, quickly post your favorite carnivore meal. It's always fun to hear. Hey, our friend Primal Mike, he came out to the Chicago meetup too.
Met him out in Chicago too. Yep.
Which of you two brothers is stronger and has a better physique? And is there any competition between you two in this regard?
Arm wrestle right now.
Right.
Yeah,
Man.
no. So here's I get to answer this one because I've got the best excuse, because Rhett's probably the stronger and the bigger, but we always say if me and my twin brother Brandon didn't have to split our genes in half, then we would definitely have outdo Rhett.
Nice.
But we started with the football and rugby and played that, and then Rhett followed along, and he was always a better player at football and rugby and just anything tough, because he had to put up with us being the older brothers and defend himself. So when he got out there, he was ready for business.
Love it. It's so interesting with the rugby thing. There's so many carnivores that started out doing rugby.
Oh, I'm a football guy through and through, but my time playing rugby in high school was probably my favorite of all time. I don't share that with all my football buddies necessarily, but rugby was amazing.
Yeah.
Nice. Shout out. This is from my wife, Jen, again. I create crafts. Oh yeah. Karen and I just watched a documentary on CPAP machines. Very interesting. I don't know if it was a documentary. It was on YouTube yesterday, and it was about the Philips CPAP machine. I don't know if you remember which one you had, but I actually had the Philips one. There was a huge recall because the foam or something that was in them was getting in the airway. It was actually messing a bunch of people up. So just another reason. What I said this to Jen before, I might have said it on a YouTube channel, but think of how crazy it was that we had those CPAP machines on, that we're eating food that's slowly poisoning us to the point that our bodies are so inflamed, our airway is closing up. We have to strap a device to our face at night to pump air in so we don't die breathing, all because of eating sugar and junk food that our bodies aren't intended to eat. It's so crazy. And then I watched this thing with Jen. I'm like, geez. And then even on top of it, you get the machine and you could end up getting this. People were getting like horrible reactions from some of those machines that got recalled. And the Philips machine, it was the Philips one, the brand, that was the one I had too. So I'm like, oh, great.
You think about all the families. Oh, sorry, you're right. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, think how dirty those things are too. You know how lazy people are in general, right?
Yeah.
Do you think everybody's cleaning those tubes every day?
No.
Or even once a week? Think about the buildup in that you're breathing in through that. You know, just I'm so thankful to be off of that thing.
Me too. Yeah, I say it, price of admission alone, just to get rid of that thing. The depression, anxiety is the biggest one. The weight loss has been great, but yeah, just the one thing, getting rid of that CPAP machine. The same thing too. Like, it helped me a little bit. I'll give them some credit, but I was still ripping it off in the middle of the night, like you were. Every morning, I'm like, just get this thing off. I'm so sick of this thing. So. Nigel Jones has a question. How much meat and when should I eat in a day to maximize my weight loss? You guys want to take a shot at that one?
Yeah, I would say, and actually the guy who got me into carnivore and first introduced it to me, he's a coach, and he's got some really good stuff. I'm hoping to have him on our channel here at some point, but you know, he was kind of going through a lot of that. I don't do a lot of the measuring the macros and doing all that stuff. It's, you know, I kind of, that's one of the other things I love about the carnivore is just that I don't have to do a lot of that, but I eat a lot of meat. But now that I've lost a lot of that weight, I'm at a little bit different stage than when you're first trying to lose the weight. So I think eating to where you're full and you know, having that protein keeps you from really just that snacking all that time and all that, and you can go to that next meal. So I incorporated some of the fasting early on to try and, you know, help with the weight loss and, you know, the 16-hour fast and things like that. And, you know, I was amazed after a couple of weeks, maybe a month of being consistent on it. The hunger pains really just kind of went. I had to remind myself to eat. And then when I did, I ate heavy. I ate a good heavy meal, a good steak, multiple, you know, eggs. I made sure I was good and full, and it would easily be in the next day, mid-afternoon, dinner time, before I would even think about eating again. So that's when I really started seeing a lot of the weight loss. And when I first started, I did eat a lot of cheese and had a lot of cheese with it. And I felt like that was kind of stunning my weight loss too. And so once I eliminated that, I felt the weight loss coming off even more.
Love it. Yeah, for me, same answer. That's what I love about carnivore. People always say, well, what'd you do? How much of this? How much? I have no idea. I eat till I'm full and that's it. Sometimes I eat a little bit more. Sometimes I eat a little bit less. So what about you, Rhett?
I'm the same as well. I would just say, if you're just starting and you're wanting to maximize, you know, there's a lot to learn about your body. And as you go through this, you learn a ton. I've never been so in tune with my body. And so, you know, you'll find what you're eating today, and in a couple of weeks, that may change a little bit based on, you know, how you're doing. So really everybody's a little bit different. Just kind of listen to your body and listen to those hunger pains and whatnot, and try and feed them with the proper human diet.
That's great advice too, because I feel like on carnivore, my body's really speaking to me, like, more salt. Okay. What do you need? And my body's like, finally, you moron, you finally figured out, just put this meat in here and stop with all this sugar and junk food and salad and lettuce. And yeah, it seems like you're much more in tune on carnivore for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Alia, shout out Alia.
Alia.
223 people watching. Let's get 223 likes. Alia is awesome. Go check out Alia Wells' channel also. Oh, we got all of our
first channels we were on as an interview. Alia had us on her channel.
Nice.
Great.
She's the best. She helped so much on the 24-hour live stream too. She's going to be jumping in on the depression one we're doing at the end of the month.
Good.
We're going to try to
meet her in Chicago, but we know that we missed her on that one.
Yeah.
Soon.
Speaking of carnivore friends, Adam, Carnivore Today, another great channel. Adam's always got great questions. Let's see what he's got here. Carnivore Brothers, if you were both in a barbecue contest, what would each of you make to impress a panel of carnivore judges, and which one of you would win?
That's a great question, isn't it, Rhett?
It is. And, I'll go ahead and start with this one because really, Ashley has taught me everything I know about barbecue. Now, we could do a contest to see if the Padawan has become the master. I don't know. But I guarantee you, we're texting each other all the time pictures of our food and going, oh, man, you killed it. That's awesome, right? So I think no matter what, no matter who got to be a judge in that contest, they'd be pretty happy.
Yeah, no doubt. We're both we love smoking the meats, and that's Rhett has I will say his brisket's probably better than mine now. I don't know. We need to have a little cook off, but I'd cook my if I had to impress the judges, I would do the breakfast fatty. That's one of my favorites. So you do a bacon weave, you wrap it, you put sausage, put some scrambled eggs and in the middle of it, and you roll it into this tight little roll, and then you smoke it, and then you slice out. Oh, it's video
really
coming soon.
presentation
All right.
too. Yeah.
Video coming soon, but it's so good.
I got my mouth watering now. I got to be careful what I say because people get fired up, but I haven't had any bacon in 8 days. There's nothing wrong with bacon. Everyone eat bacon. It's fine. I just chose to cut back a little bit because you can have too much of something. I'd make up, like Emma would make up bacon, right? She'd make 4 pieces. I'd be like, what are you doing? You're messing the whole air fryer up. Just put the whole package in and make it. And now Rhett's got a really cool video on their channel about making a bacon. You guys got to watch that. That's going to be my new method if I go back to it. But I'd make up a whole thing of bacon. I'd be like, I'll just have 4 pieces. And I'm like, oh, where did it all go? It's all gone. And then Emma would come home from school and she's making more. I was having too much bacon. So, but nothing wrong with bacon. It's awesome. I'll probably work it back in at some point. Question from Nigel. How much water does everyone consume in a day? I don't measure anything, so I don't even know. I just drink until I'm not thirsty anymore. Do you guys have any idea?
Oh, I don't have my water container.
I don't measure either, but I usually do probably 4 to 8 of these easily in a day. So
I probably don't drink enough straight up water, but I have like the mineral water or sparkling water is what I'll drink a lot of that too. So I don't measure it either. Just drink when I'm thirsty. But
something that has been awesome for me, my wife bought me a Soda Stream. And so I've always liked that carbonation, right? And so just doing carbonated water, I'm to the point where I don't even add anything in it. I just like to drink the carbonated water just to get that fizz. And I even get a little bit of a sweetness out of it for some reason. It's just water, but I enjoy it like it's a sweet drink. It's weird.
Nice. Question from Angela. I keep getting video suggestions for eating plants for our microbiome. I worry that if I go totally carnivore rather than keto, that I'll be lacking in the bacteria that can protect us. You guys got anything on that one?
That'll be a great one for Dr. Chafee tomorrow. I know he'll knock that one out of the park as he always does.
I was thinking the same thing. Yeah, that's probably a better one for him. I guess the only thing I'll add to that is we filmed Maggie, the rancher, 82-year-old carnivore for 65 years now. She hasn't had any plants. And she is literally, this isn't exaggerating, she's like the healthiest person I think I've ever seen. She could lift, at 82 years old, she could lift me up and carry me across the field. No problem.
I don't know if you remember this, but when we were in Chicago, you showed me the picture of her flexing. And I can't wait for people to see that. Oh my goodness.
And it's
jumping fences.
You saw she's jumping over fences. Yeah, you saw the picture that we actually have video of that's going to be in the documentary. And of course, I can't show it on YouTube yet, but I can't wait to share that. I'm not worried about my gut microbiome. I'm trying to be careful what I say, but I did a video a while ago about how I'm never eating plants or vegetables again, and I was a little fired up with it. But I am legitimately kind of disgusted and not really scared because carnivores don't get scared, but I don't want to have anything to do with plants anymore. It's so crazy, like the pesticides that are in those. And now I just saw this big thing that almost all of the pesticides they use have the forever chemicals. Those forever chemicals are like in everything now anyways, but now you're getting like the double whammy. And I don't know, I always just thought it was funny. I mentioned in that video, people get vegetables or fruit and they sprinkle some water over it. Like that's getting, and they've done studies on this. They'll juice the fruit or vegetable. It's still full of pesticides. So it's just like slowly poisoning yourself. I don't think that would be good for my gut microbiome. I'd rather just do without it.
I will say that as the longer I've been on carnivore, I have, because I had a whole vegetable garden and things like that. And grew a lot of okra and different things like that I wanted to try and put back in. It's funny, as Rhett was saying earlier, you're so in tune with your body. As you add those little things back in, you can really feel a difference and make some of those decisions. Because I know not everybody's the same, and everybody's a little bit different on how they react. But the one big takeaway that I had with my blood work, it didn't seem like any blood work came back spiked one way or the other that was saying, oh, you definitely need to be adding this in, or these veggies, you're not getting enough of it in the meat that you're eating. Everything, every marker that they measured, and I had some extra ones measured just because I was curious, and I watched a lot of Dr. Berry videos on other things that I wanted to know. So the doctor had a few more things in, and every single item was spot on. The potassium was a little high, and I thought, oh, that was interesting. But I was doing the electrolytes and probably a little bit more than I probably should have. So I just cut back on that a little bit. But yeah, it was pretty fascinating. So nothing jumped out. I'm not an expert on microbiome at all, but nothing jumped out of the blood work that says, hey, you definitely need to eat more of this because of this. So it's great.
Yeah, stay tuned, Angela. I'll ask Dr. Chafee that one tomorrow. Note, 100 years ago, dogs and cats didn't get cancer and metabolic chronic ailments. Neither did humans. I wonder what the common link is.
No doubt.
No clue.
Right. Right. What could possibly be going on? I know I sound like a broken record, but that's with the documentary. That's my biggest takeaway, because Dr. Berry's so good at simplifying things. But I think this is even more simple on some levels. It's like, as humans get further and further away from what is natural, we're getting sicker and sicker. That's it. That's the answer to almost all of these questions. Cancers, depression, anxiety, type 2 diabetes, heart disease. The numbers just keep going up, and we're getting further and further away from what's natural, mostly from what we're eating, but also like staring at doing this all day and under the fluorescent lights and not getting sunshine and fresh air and not exercising. And
well, Carrie, I know Emma has been working on, kind of a test here, right, with real food and your animals. Have you noticed any change as of yet? I know it's pretty early still. Any behavioral changes?
Love that question. Thank you. Yes, it's incredible. I know I always hype everything up on Carnivore, but it's the truth. Emma's got to do her own video because she was saying it. So both of our dogs are carnivore now, and it's been over a month. Shout out Larry, Carnivore Soldier. I watched one of his videos, and he sent me this video that was all about dog food and what's in dog food. I'm like, yeah, dog food's kind of crappy. But then I watched that video. I was like, my dogs are never eating that dog food again. It was eye-opening, this video he sent me. They're doing amazing. Their fur is it's like shinier. It was like all like dried before. Their tails are wagging. They're like little puppies again. They're just running around. Like it's remarkable and totally noticeable. And the really crazy thing is we did one on Emma's cat, Sweet Pea, who had like a traumatic brain injury, and her eye was glossed over, and she's always been kind of like gimping around. And her transformation since going from the dry food to carnivore, it's incredible. It's like night and day. Her eyes cleared up. It's just crazy.
I love that video.
I wish I would have done it. Just like everything with carnivore, I wish I would have done it sooner. But yeah. You know what? The crazy thing is, Larry said this to me too, and I didn't believe him, but he's like, if you get like somewhat decent dog food, which most people do, because like the cheapest stuff is really, really horrible. You're like, I'm going to try to get them this premium or whatever. It's less expensive feeding them this way.
Yeah.
Raw meat, like chicken thighs. And actually, if you do the math, it's actually less. It's probably way less too when you consider that I'm not going to have vet bills and other expenses like that sort of thing. So
right.
Yeah.
Right. He did a video on how to do it. It's on our to-do list. My daughter wants to get our dog on a carnivore diet as well. So
yeah, we were so fortunate because we have a big meat grinder. That's the big barrier to entry for most people. But I already had one, and we just go and get big bags of chicken thighs, put them. I just had to do it like 2 days ago again because we ran out. But I'm getting better and smarter at it. We just do one day, and then we just we got a chest freezer out in the garage, and it's like a big prep day, and it's all measured out in the bag, so they get a bag of the food during the day. My older daughter Lily manages that part, so it's been kind of cool. But yeah, they love
more detail on it. That's where we're looking for more information ourselves on that.
Yeah, I'll reach out anytime. Be happy to talk. I'll send you the video too if you want. I don't know if you want to or not. I was happy Larry sent it to me because I was dragging my feet a little bit, and then I watched it. I'm like, we're doing it right now. Like this, it was insane what that video was talking about with the dog food.
I would love to see it because I've got friends that love their animals more than themselves. And maybe if they can wake up and say, I'll feed this to my animal, maybe they'll look at themselves and go, okay, maybe I should do this for myself as well.
Right. Well, there's like 5 things in the video that alone individually be like, I don't want to feed them dog food anymore. But the last one they mentioned was back to these forever chemicals again. There's regulations on packaging for humans. There's none for dogs. So like the packaging for the dry food is just full of these horrible forever chemicals. And because it's dogs, it's like there's no regulation there. What goes into the dog food that they get from, what was it called? Animal processing plants or something. If you look on dog food, it'll say in the ingredients, it's like, I can't think of the name now. It's something processing plant. It was horrible. It's like roadkill and euthanized animals. They take them all to this facility and they basically boil them. Sorry, I'm going off the deep end here, but that's the truth. It's what it is. And that's what ends up in the dog food. Other dogs and roadkill, and it was crazy. I'll send you the link if you still want it. Carnivore Brothers, was your mother a Gone with the Wind fan? I named my 2 dogs Ashley and Rhett from the movie.
That's hilarious. Yes, she was. Yeah, big fan. That's where our names are from. There's not many male Ashleys out there, but that's exactly where it's from. And she was going to name our sister Scarlett, apparently, but she always says she was too evil in the movie. She just couldn't do it. So she didn't end up naming her Scarlett. But yeah, she was a big fan.
Good catch, Scooby the dog. Yeah. Pearl Berry said, I haven't had the luxury of having prime rib, but I have made and enjoyed beef cheek, slow cooked in the Instant Pot. Very flavorful. Have you guys tried it yet?
I have frozen beef cheeks right now. Don't tell my wife or my daughter because I'm making them for them and they're not going to know what it is, but they won't eat it if they know what it is. But I've got it in the freezer. I'm so excited. Pearl, you have to message me at some point on how you cooked them up, but I'm looking to cook those up soon. Excited about that.
Yeah, I don't think I've tried them. Beef tongue.
I think that's what barbacoa is made out of. So that's where I think that's why I wanted to try and find like a good barbacoa recipe.
Nice. Yeah, I've heard a bunch of people suggest this and I haven't tried it yet. I should do a video with Emma on that. That'd be kind of fun. Christian said, where's this show aired from? I'm from central Wisconsin. You guys are kind of separated too. Where are you guys from?
Yeah, I'm in Texas, the Dallas area.
And I'm in Washington State. I'm right on the border of Portland, Oregon.
Wow. All right. I'm planning for the future because we're going to be talking more, and we're going to be we're going to KetoCon this summer.
Oh, are you going? Okay, good.
Yep. So maybe we could meet up at that time. And then Washington, you're going to be there? Awesome. Yeah. I'll send you some more info. Adam and I are going. And our friend Todd Bachnis is going to be a whole bunch of people are going. We were talking about maybe getting like a big Airbnb with a bunch of people. And and Dr. Chafee is going to meet us. We're going to be filming him for the documentary there. So we're hoping to film some folks down there, like as we're there. And then Washington, Rhett, I'm going to be out there at some point too. There's several carnivores out in Washington. We have Carnivorous. Amanda is in Washington State.
She's in
Dr. Yeah. Dr. Baker,
Bella. Ketogenic Woman too is up in just north of there, up in British Columbia.
Yes, Anita, she's awesome. I didn't know that. I didn't realize. So she's just right over the border.
Yeah, I'll definitely be there. Just let me know when it is, and see if I can bring my family too.
Awesome, for sure. Stephen Andrews, I'm new here. How long have you brothers been on carnivore? How much weight have you both lost? And where are you? Well, we just covered where you're from.
Perfect. Well, it's not all about the weight loss for sure, as we kind of talked about before, but from my heaviest, I've lost about 70 pounds. And I've been on carnivore almost a year now. In February, it'll be a year.
And same, I started February 26th, I believe, of 2023. Just about to hit a year, and have lost right at just under 100 pounds.
You're right there.
I fluctuate a little bit right now as I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing, but
that's incredible. All right, let's see here. Wow, we got a lot of chats going on. I just want to make sure I don't miss anything here. Dr. Baker's in Washington too. Okay, here we go.
I didn't realize Dr. Baker's in Washington too. Cool.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Oh, Arlene. Oh, we're getting some new questions here. A lot of times we do these questions that are the same ones. What was the worst food addiction for each of you? My husband was bread and pasta. Mine was cakes and cookies.
My answer on that one's easy. My worst food addiction was free. If it was free and it was out there, I ate it. Like, it didn't matter what it was. I don't know. I had this mindset. I couldn't pass it by. If it was extra food that was left out from, breakfast tacos in the morning or donuts or whatever it was. But I mean, sugar's always been my biggest addiction for sure. But I always jokingly say free was also my addiction. If it was free and it was something that was out there to be eaten, I ate it. I'm not a picky eater.
What about you, Rhett?
Pizza for me. All kinds of pizza. I just it doesn't even matter what's on them. I'm one of the weird ones that loves pineapple on pizza. I miss that. I miss that the most. But I've been like tinkering with different things and ways that you can kind of make something that feels like a pizza. But
Nice.
you know, I don't. At this point, I don't even miss it near as much anymore.
Awesome. Yeah, I think you guys got me right there. Probably be pizza or sugar, candy, anything with a bunch of sugar in it. That's what get me. Hey, Alia Wells, you crazy person! I feel like we're missing some super chats. $10,000.
That's what it looks like.
I think that's pesos, but we'll go with $10,000. Alia is so generous. Thank you, Alia. Seriously, you're awesome. Hey, we got Bill Knott on. Shout out Bill Knott.
Bill.
Yes. Hey, you know, Rhett mentioned how we had the inspiration of your videos and stuff like that. I mean, I know one of the reasons my mom is still doing carnivores because of Bill. And when that story, we were just following that story, just like so many of us that were following each other and learning so much from each other on YouTube and your channel, Carrie. And man, that Bill, you've been such an inspiration to us too. We watch that, we love it, and feel like we know, and we're right there with you as well. And so we want to support you as much as we can, and we just love. I know it's funny. You said that the other day on your channel that your mom like asked, I don't care about you, Carrie. How's Bill doing? You know,
right?
Things like that. So funny. We love it.
That's I'm happy to take the question too. That is legitimately probably the most frequently asked question I get. What's up with Bill? How's Bill doing? From everyone. A lot of moms too, but I'm happy to answer. If you guys didn't watch Bill's latest video, shout out Bill Knott. Go check him out. Google it, Bill Knott on YouTube. His last video, I was so happy watching that video. Bill, I know you're watching right now. So excited. Shout out Todd Bachner's Carnivore Cure as well, helping him figure some things out. But man, I can't wait to get back to Alaska. I can't wait. It's going to be so much fun.
The one, I hate to interrupt, sorry, Carrie, but the one that was awesome to me. Bill can play the guitar.
Yes.
I was so impressed. I was like, dang, Bill, you got to play some more guitar. That was great.
More guitar. A couple people said to me, like, I was talking to my sister after that, Bill, I know you're listening. She was like, I started listening to that. I thought it was a joke. Like, I thought he had a radio or something. He was going to take it. No, he was playing that. Yeah. So Bill, good. Come on, let's go. We need more guitar. That'd be awesome. A little short here. I got to be careful telling Bill what to do because he's killing it on YouTube. But I'm like, you should do some shorts. It'd be fun. A little short playing a guitar, a little short what you're eating. Awesome. Everyone go check out Bill. Victoria Matthews, how do you all cook your briskets? I did mine in the smoker. What about you guys?
Yep, definitely the smoker. Video. I think we've both done several videos that we pieced together. It's almost ready to kind of put out. But I think we're going to smoke one more each, and then we'll put a video out on that, on how we do it. But we've one lesson I learned, I taught myself on YouTube University from a lot of other people smoking briskets out there. But just the more you do, the more practice you get, the better you get with the feel of it. And you kind of learn more and more about it. And you go through, everybody goes through one or two that we did. So one of the videos I did, it was funny. I made a mistake in it, and I poked a hole in the foil, and all the fat renderings ran out. And so when I cut into it, it was just dry as anything. And I really tried to, I was like, yum, but it was the worst brisket I've ever had. So I didn't put that video out yet. So pretty funny.
I felt bad too, because I had just made one and I cut through. I'm like, oh man, that's money.
Nice. We got an update on the microbiome. Scooby the dog said, some say your microbiome is set at birth. Pretty much, and no pills or sauerkraut is going to change very much of it. Good to know. I didn't know that. Hey, shout out my good friend Russ, Homesick Buckeye. If you guys haven't checked out his channel, they're back. Wondered where my brothers were. Russ is awesome. So cool. Good guy, funny guy, nice guy. Yes. Russ helped save us. Speaking of the 24-hour live stream the other day, so much like information and great stuff, but Russ is awesome. Russ is the best. Shout out Homesick Buckeye. Everyone go check out Russ's channel. Susan asked question, will you guys try the Carnivore Porky Puffs cereal? It's surprisingly delicious. I haven't heard of this yet. You guys heard of this?
Not
I
heard
have
of it.
not heard of this.
Yeah, I
Turkey
have.
puff cereal.
I guess I'd have to see the ingredients first, and but
Right.
you know, I do pork rinds, the plain pork rinds and salt. But interesting. I'll look for them.
Yeah, I hear the word cereal and it scares me a little bit, but okay, here we go. One last question at the bottom here from S. McCabe. What do you eat every day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Question mark. These days I eat scrambled eggs and ground beef. That's been my new go-to, and I'm like a robot. I love it every single time, like every single day. I was gonna do a video, like maybe just for 30 days. That's all I'm gonna eat because I just love it. With a little bit of butter on the side, and then usually I'll have some burger patties or a ribeye or a steak or some brisket or something else, but usually a steak. Usually 2 meals a day, and that's it. That's it for me. I did a stretch of 60 days Lion diet where I only had beef, salt, and water. But yeah, what about you guys?
While in heavy weight loss mode, I was definitely I was really mostly doing 1 meal a day, where it was, you know, eating till I'm full, and then maybe a small little breakfast. But at this point now, I do a breakfast of usually eggs and some bacon crisps, and then I'll do a steak for dinner, or some ground beef, depending. We've got other kids to cook for and stuff here too, so it just depends. But you know, while I was really in heavy weight loss focus, though, I just kind of cooked a separate meal for myself every time, and so trying to integrate back has been interesting. I'm kind of weaning myself away again to kind of do my own thing.
I'm fortunate to live in Texas, and so I've got the great deals on the steak, and so I try and load up the freezer anytime that's going on. So I'll eat a steak anytime, breakfast or lunch or dinner. But I generally don't eat breakfast. I don't find myself getting hungry and like ready to eat usually until, you know, especially if it's a Monday through Friday, I'm working. I don't even think about it sometimes till 2, 3, 4 in the afternoon. So I really call it my first meal, and sometimes I'll just eat that. I'll have a steak, or I really, the more you cook eggs and steak, you kind of perfect those things. So I love my scrambled eggs, and I'll whip those anytime I'm feeling a little hungry. 3 or 4 scrambled eggs, whip them up real quick with some butter and salt, and I'll eat that. I'll eat that anytime. Doesn't have to be a breakfast or lunch thing.
Yeah, in fact, I just ate that for dinner, I think, before I came over here. My other go-to for the longest time, and Emma's as well, was the Power Bowl, which is just beef, bacon, eggs, ground beef, scrambled eggs, bacon, all in a skillet. When I do one little thing, if people, little power tip, I guess, when you're cooking the ground beef, some people are like, "Oh, I get sick of ground beef. I don't like it." I will cook it up and I'll put some butter in it. I'll crisp it up almost like a smash burger, and it changes the texture. I like it that way a lot better. Some people don't like the texture if it's kind of like rubbery. You could switch it up a little bit, but yeah, that's been my go-to for a long time. So, awesome, man. You guys are great. I can't believe it's been over an hour already here. Shout out Carnivore Brothers. Everyone go check out, subscribe to their channel. Link is in the description below. I love your guys' story. I can't wait to talk to you more as we travel around the world filming for this documentary. We'll definitely be talking some more. If you guys got anything else you want to shout out or mention?
Yeah, I do. I just again, Rhett said it earlier, but I want to reemphasize it. Thank you, Carrie, for all that you're doing, all your videos, all the stuff. We wouldn't be doing this probably as well as we are today without you and your motivation. So, you know, you are helping people, and you are motivating other people, because we're 2 of them. And you know, it was the reason we went to Chicago was like, we get to beat Carrie. That'd be amazing. Like when I told Rhett, especially, he had to fly all night, take a red eye and whatever else. He was like, I don't care, I'm going. Right. I mean, it was a thrill for us to do, and we love what you're doing. We love the Healing Humanity documentary, and we're there to support it in any way we can. So you come to Texas, you got a place to stay. We'll smoke up some meat. We're ready to go.
I'm ready to come down there now. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for saying it. It really, honestly, I was so humbled, and it really meant the world that you guys came. I'm like, you flew out here? Like, what is going on? What is this? It's just crazy. But I really appreciate that feedback too on the inspiration stuff, because it sounds stupid because I've done so many YouTube videos, but I've been tinkering with cooking videos or this video or this video. But just recently, I'm like, it just seems like these inspirational ones where I'm fired up about carnivore seem to like help people a lot, because I keep getting that comment where I'm like, yeah, I was having trouble and now I saw it and now I'm fine, now I'm good because of your videos. So I'm like, I'd love to do more of those videos. I really enjoy doing stuff like that. And
your passion comes through, and it is very motivating, and love it. Keeps us going.
Yeah, well, thank you guys so much for your nice words, for your support, for coming out to the thing, for getting the shirts. It means the world to me. It really does. And like I said, this whole documentary, the whole purpose is to help the hopeless. And I really think we're going to reach millions of people, but it's not me. It's not by myself. It's all of you guys, carnivores, friends, people supporting it, people getting the word out, people helping. So I really, really appreciate you guys. So I guess we'll end it there. Thank you everyone for joining us in the chat with all the really good questions tonight. And yeah, go check out the channel. Let's see right now. You guys, I didn't refresh earlier. You have 495 subscribers. Let's get it up to 1,000. Go subscribe. I was just looking. Go back and watch one of their first couple of videos where you had your dad in there too. That'll put a big smile on your face. And then you got to watch the recent one Rhett just did on the bacon, because that I've watched so many videos and that one's kind of a game changer. I've been making bacon like a moron lately, frankly. There's a better way. There's a better method.
It's easier, right?
Yeah,
awesome.
Sure.
I really got that from Dr. Barry too, but kind of tweaked it a little bit since, and yeah, it's just been a game changer.
The little rolling up the package, I'm like, that's good. I'm sitting here peeling them all.
It's so silly, but it's brilliant and it works. It's like, oh, you don't have to.
I can't even remember where I saw the rolling up the package trick, but yeah.
Nice. Well, thank you guys so much. I'm also so happy for you that you're killing it now. You got like you got 2 more lives ahead of you now, not just one before. Just imagine had you not done this. It's incredible. You guys are inspired. You're doing a great job. I really appreciate you. So thank you, Ashley. Thank you, Rhett. And thank you everyone for joining us. Really appreciate it. Have a good night.
Thanks everyone.
You guys do this.
Peace.